And of course, not only did we win the World Championships, but Dave Roper, who was reserve, won the gold medal.
The next day, because in those days, you used to fish the team event on day one, and then the top individuals and maybe the reserves qualified. I mean,
well, what happened, John, is that every team, to make sure that every country has got a representative in the individual final.
Yeah.
In those days, the Saturday match was 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then every country could nominate an angler.
Yeah.
So I nominated my reserve, who was Dave Roper.
Which was,
right? But also, if you had somebody in the first three in the section, they also could fish.
Got you.
So we'd got 5 anglers fishing in the individual.
Yeah.
And the only one that missed out was Bob.
Yeah.
And so Dave drew on the opposite bank to where I'd said he was somewhere where opposite Kevin's area. And he fished Waggler and well, he won the championship. It was brilliant. And it's not Dave's forte, is he? You know, it's not a preferred method that Dave Roper would have selected.
I would always classify Dave as a northwest canal man.
Exactly.
But it just, to me, and I'm biased, of course, and I'm paid to be biased, but I've always believed that those anglers that grew up on learning to fish on canals can actually turn their hand to pretty much anything. And Ian Heaps and Kevin Ashurst, and Dave. And
I still think, I think that anybody, listen, if you've got a good angler, any good angler can turn the hand, because it's all about here.
Yes.
It's not the difference between somebody being a weightlifter and a sprinter, is it? And or a high jumper. You know, I mean, me and you'll be no good trying to jump high over, wouldn't we?
No.
But the thing is, but as an angler and a thinking angler, it's like one person who would definitely get in the team nowadays for the nations team. The ringers, especially Steve.
Yeah.
Steve would convert. Steve would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it's up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. And so Dave Roper was, and I'm just chuffed for Dave because he was always going to be a fringe angler,
Yes.
Yeah. But when he won that, I was over the moon for him. Yeah, brilliant. Yes. And he's a nice guy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still fishing.
Yeah.
Well, one for all our Welsh listeners to celebrate is what happened in 1986 when Wales for the first time managed to pip England.
No, they didn't beat us in the only beat us. Oh, in Strasbourg, you mean?
In Strasbourg.
Oh, yeah. But that was a bit peggy. Dennis never had a fish. It was like you can't. Generally, you can't. I mean, I was just going to say you can't win with a dry net, but you can because we did in Home Pierpont. But yeah, Dennis Wright never had a fish, I don't think Wales beat us. They might have. Did they beat us?
By one, yes.
By one place?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to say they didn't get on the podium. I know that.
No.
We were 6th or 7th.
England were 7th and Wales were 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It weren't a good venue for us. It was like there was such a big volume of water traffic on. It was like the barges were so big, it was unbelievable. And you'd be sat on the bank, and the wash. Not the wash, but the what they call it when it's going past first. It draws water back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Out. Must have been 6, 7, 8 meters of the bottom gone. You could almost fish, or sit and fish where the water receded to before it came back again. It was very, very difficult that, and it was something that I'd never experienced before. I don't think any of our lads had, and that's another thing about it is that, you need to have some sort of practice facility, which has changed now anyway. It's made it better for the team to go and practice these days, because in those days, the water was closed for 2 full weeks before the event. So you used to go out to practice if you could, if you got the finances. And bear in mind, the first 2 or 3 years we were sponsored by Steadfast.
Yes.
Which is the fishing tackle company that was based in Sheffield. And that was Malcolm Badette's doing. Malcolm got the Stead because I don't know whether he knew them or not, but he contacted them, and Jack Stead, who was one of the directors of the company, he used to come with us, Jack, and he used to really enjoy it, and so did the others. I mean, the other directors were all for it, and it was good that we had it. But going out to practice, coming back home, and then going again, we just didn't have the finance to do it properly.
Yeah. And how about other countries' finances in that sort of era? Were they all in the same boat, or were there teams that were...
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't know about that. I do know about it now. And since, well, even when I was still managing the teams, there are a number of teams that are part of their own country's Olympic setup, and because they get financed. And so, like the Italians, the French, the Portuguese, the Hungarians, I think, the Belgians, they're all part of their lottery funded people. I know that Angling Trust get lottery funding, but it's not to be used for internationals in either teams and or events. So you can't get individual sponsorship out of it, you can't get team sponsorship out of it, and you can't get event sponsorship out of it. Other countries, they can, because, well, I don't know. It's just an agreement they have, I suppose.
Yeah, different governments and different priorities.
Yeah.
We moved to 1987, and that was the year that Clive Branson won the individual goal for Wales. Yeah. If he'd have been English, would he have been good enough to get in? Or?
Oh well, this Clive Branson was an exceptionally good angler. It was a venue to suit him, fishing a waggler. The one thing that did happen on that day was that we did qualify. As you know, we qualified, and it was one of the things I had here, because we won the gold that weekend, and I'd already nominated a reserve to fish the championships, the individual one, and all 5 of my anglers finished in the top 3, so we got 6, which is unprecedented because it had never happened before.
Yeah.
So when I've gone to do the sign-in light with the draw and everything, you can't have your nominated angler in the team. I says in the fishing the individual. Said, why is that? Well, because you can only have 5. I said, well, where does it say that? Oh, no, you can only have 5. I said, hang on a minute. If there's only going to be 5, that means then that there's going to be a spare peg somewhere, because you've obviously got. No, you can't. I said, I'm telling you, if we don't, we're going home. So I said, if that's the case, we're off. And eventually they decided that, all right, we could have 5, 6 anglers.
6 anglers.
So 6 anglers fished it.
Yeah.
And Clive was I think he was downstream of Kevin. There was a Welsh angler downstream of Kevin. Then Kevin, then Dennis White. And Kevin was very unfortunate, because what happened was he hooked a proper fish, a big fish, and he played it for ages and ages, and it snagged him in the bank just about 3 or 4 rod lengths down his peg, and he lost it, and I think that would have done Clive, because I think this is the things individuals, isn't it?
Yeah, there we are for 87.
Yeah.
Kevin was second.
Yeah, and had he not been second, had he had that fish, he would have won it.
Blimey, he was 15 grams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Half an ounce.
And the other thing about it is, and again, this is about luck, isn't it? If he hadn't hooked that fish,
he would have won it,
because he'd have got another one.
Yeah.
Of a normal size, which would have beat Clive.
Yeah.
So Clive was a bit lucky that day. Yeah.
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 But that's fishing, isn't it?
It is,
Pretty
absolutely.
much every match.
Yeah. But there you are. I mean, look, You've got to look at that. There's Tommy Pickering with 2. So he qualified.
Yeah.
Dennis qualified because he won his section. Ian Heaps was second. Kevin won his section, and Steve was 3rd.
Of course, that was the year Steve made his
debut.
Debut.
Yeah, he was in the downstream end section, Steve. And as I said, it was I think it was in the same section as Milo as well, which was like there were, and I had to stand behind him to make him put this ground bait in because he didn't want to put any in. But if he hadn't have done, we could have not won.
Blimey. And if
everybody else went to plan, but he wanted to change it.
If he'd have disobeyed the manager, he may never have fished those 27 consecutive.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, but I would have been a bit upset after giving him some verbal. I weren't at the back of the door coming out with some verbals.
You didn't suffer fools then.
No, not really. No. Yeah. But it was good that because it was again we won the champion. I mean, over the first 5 or 6, 7 years it was easy. Why was it easy? I think that because first of all I got a good I was looking at like 8-10 anglers and a horses for courses a bit because I did change it the following year when we went to Belgium.
Yeah, you brought in Vinnie Smith, another top northwest.
Well, we were on a canal in Belgium, and what do you think about the Belgians? The Belgians, the French, you'd think bloodworm, wouldn't you?
Yes.
So that's why I changed the format because first of all, Tommy Pickering and Dennis White, I know them from Barnsley, obviously, for all the years that they were there, and we never fished any bloodworm matches.
Yeah.
Bloodworm was the last match that we'd fished. We were going on the Trent, we were going into Lincolnshire. It was never going to be a bloodworm, but this one was. So I thought, right, I'm going to change it. I brought Dave Roper back in.
Yep.
Vinnie Smith, who made his debut. I had Dave Vincent. I think that might have been Dave's first visit as well. Dave.
3 times Camazan Matchman of the Year.
Exactly.
Dave.
Yeah. And then there was I left Ian Heaps out. So I left out Ian Heaps, Tommy Pickering, and Dennis White, and we won it. And the Angling Times had put in. It showed these 3 with an axe in the head. Saying they'd been axed, but we won it, which was as far as I was concerned was what more can you ask for? It was brilliant. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And so like in the first 5 years, 6 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years we'd won 3.
Yeah, 1, 3 and a second.
And a second. Yeah, you can't get much better than that, can you?
No.
And it was changing as then, because then shortly after it went to 2 days, didn't it? I don't know, it was the following year.
Can we just tell us? Probably in this one. Let's have a look. We moved to 88. Maybe it won't.
No, 89.
89. There we are.
It was 2 days. 89. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Who was individual?
Tommy.
Exactly.
So Tommy won it in 89.
We got 2 days, and I'll tell you what happened in 89. We didn't get on. The Welsh won the team event in 89, didn't they, in Bulgaria? And what happened was, on the second day, the managers were told that you must go on the same coach. There's a coach for managers and stewards and etc. Because we were staying in Plovdiv somewhere, and we had to go to the venue, which was the rowing course. And we set off. It was the last coach, but half the managers had gone on the other flaming coaches with the anglers, which was really annoying because they just don't listen. Maybe they hadn't got an interpreter, I don't know, but we had. In fact, our interpreter, strangely enough, was a Bulgarian lady who later became Jan van Schendel's wife. And we were told to go on this coach, and when we get going, we've got to go a level crossing. And we had to pull up at this level crossing. It was closed. All the other coaches had gone through, but ours. So I'm on a coach with like half a dozen managers, or 10 managers, 15, whatever there was. When we get there, they've started the draw. and Tommy's drawn for England.
Yeah.
So, which is fair enough. It happened. And Tommy's drawn his own peg. So I think he's the only angler ever to do his own peg and win the World Championships. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that was, and we'd really caught a lot of fish in practice. We went out for a week's practice, and it was so good, it was unbelievable. There were carp everywhere. We were using gallons of maggots. It was, and Steve and Bob were in the, you know, they were in the elements. It was like everything they did. Chuck some bait in, throw some bait. We were actually sat there firing catapults full of maggots in while they were fishing in practice, to keep the carp there in the peg, and they were just catching everything, carp, skimmers, absolutely everything. But then in the day, when it came to the match, there's a walkway bridge across the rowing course, and they drew the other side of it, and it was an area that we'd had some fish but not so many, and it didn't work. And I think it was Bob's worst ever World Championships. God knows where he finished. 20 something, I think, and Steve wasn't too bad, wasn't that far away. Have you got it in here? Does it tell you in here about
where Steve finished himself? Bulgaria.
No, it don't. Is that day one? 14 points.
Individual. Steve was 22nd. Yeah. He got 14 points
and 2 points.
And 2 points on the second day.
So there you are. That 14 points on the first day. That was it. We've gone out. We were out then. We couldn't, because Bob was worse than Steve. So we had you know, it was.
But it just shows
terrible.
Even the great anglers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's the fascination of this sport at times, isn't it? That anybody can buy a ticket for an open match and draw next to an England international,
right.
And if the England international makes a Horlicks of it and you do everything right, you can.
And then you come away thinking it's easy, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, but it'll happen like one time in every 50 or something.
Yeah,
that's what I suppose keeps the ordinary angler going. Whereas if we run in the London Marathon, we're never going to win it, are we?
No.
You know.
No.
So I think fishing is unique. And,